So in this kitchen, I would say starting with the top, on top of the kitchen cabinets, I would say don't put anything there. So if the kitchen cabinets go to the ceiling, that's great. If they don't, that's not a reason to just fill that space with something. We don't need the eye being drawn to that area because it's not a good focal point of the room. And anything that you do put up there just tends to collect dust and a lot of times look dirty. Another thing would be the refrigerator. So I know that it's great to put a lot of photographs and kids' art and things like that on the refrigerator, but it also tends to make things look a little bit cluttered and messy. So think about utilizing maybe the side of the refrigerator and just put a few pieces there, and you can switch them out from time to time. But when it's on the front, again, it draws our eye to the big box in the room rather than the really pretty items in the kitchen. So in this particular room, also looking at the island area, if you notice there's three distinct spots to put stools. We've got 4 stools in this area and they don't match. You've got 2 stools and 2 chair styles. I would either use 3 matching stools in the slots that are allowed, or I would just use 2 that are the same if you don't have 3 that match. So I would just remove 2 of these. And then also, if you notice on the kitchen counters, we've got the coffee maker and it looks like a toaster oven and the knives and the cutting board and the smart home thing. I would say try to consolidate some of that. Either put away the things you don't use every single day, or the items that are plugged in, try to move them over a little bit to cover the plugs up, or kind of put them together in the same spot. You don't have to use every plug that's on the wall because the wires showing also don't have a very clean visual. So in this living room, you can see there's a really large couch. It's a sectional. So what I would do is remove one end of the sectional where it sticks out in front of the walkway to the stairs. That part just makes the pathway seem kind of small and it makes the room feel smaller than it actually is. So removing that one little piece I think would make a big difference. Also, you can also notice that the scale of the couch and the scale of the coffee table is a little askew. The coffee table is really 2 small cubes that maybe belong in front of one cushion of that sectional. So I would recommend putting a rug down to add a little bit of warmth and coziness to the room, bringing in a little pop of color, and then adding a larger coffee table to take that space up a little bit more and make it look a lot more cozy and inviting. And then last, you can see where the TV is hanging, and they also have like a little fireplace type thing for ambiance. It doesn't let off heat, but it just has some light that's beneath the television. And the wires for everything are just hanging down the wall and plugged in at the bottom. So if you're going to have stuff like that hanging on your wall, take that extra step and hide the wires, hide the cords, because that is just an eyesore, guys, and it's such an easy fix. So if you don't know how to do that, give me a call. I can have somebody help you. Okay, on the outside of the house, some of this may seem obvious, but starting with the mailbox. Paint the mailbox, y'all. If it's got rust on it and it's just looking dingy, clean it up and put a coat of paint on it. It'll make a world of difference, and it's the first thing people see when they pull in your driveway. Also, if your house is being shown today, why not take your dumpster and put it in the garage or move it to the back of the house? But don't let it be the first thing people see as they pull in and park their car. Walking to the front door, I noticed this one had some weeds in front of the window that were growing tall. Actually, several of the houses I showed today had weeds or bushes with dead spots in them, and all right along the front of the house. So tend to your shrubbery and also pull any weeds or strays and, freshen up the look of that. One house that we went to had nice garden area with nothing was in bloom yet, but it was just really well manicured and it just made a world of difference. And then lastly, you can see the house here that has a lot of yard art. This doesn't do it justice, but remove the yard art. It's really personal, but it also makes things look a little bit cluttered sometimes. And, you want the buyer to really be able to see themselves in your house. So just clean it up a little bit and make it present the best way possible as you're approaching the house.